Sagi and Winter will lock this in.
Now, Alistar and Varus is a very strong kill lane. That being said, they will be kind of poked out early on, especially against the Seraphine. I generally feel like range into melee matchup for supports is very punishing, right? But again, the onus is on the Seraphine here to really keep Winter low in health so that he can't force these engages together with the Rengar, because they have very good setup right now in the Dragon lane, and I fully expect Chili to pay more attention towards the Dragon lane as opposed to the rest of the map.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see another way to deliver the ball. It is going to be the hidden ball from Chili over here, and Karuto picks that up. In the meantime, you mentioned it is going to be that range lane up against that melee on Alistar. Excited to see how this is going to go. Which ones are they going to focus on first as we head on over to the first game of MVP and Berjaya Dragons?
Look at the side of the screen here. Pegor actually went for the Aftershock instead, so signaling that he wants to be the secondary tank for his team, and rightly so. MVP don't really have much frontliner, so the Aftershock being procced gives him the resistance, allows him to sit in the front line for that much longer, so that Yahtzee and Papa can throw damage down.
That's true. A secondary frontliner definitely will be all but here on towards this Renekton, especially when he activates the Dominus. So I can't imagine it can get a little bit tough, but lane swap.
Yeah, I was about to say lane swap. So this actually benefits the Garen more than it does the Renekton. Garen being a bit more of a tank, has the innate sustain. He should be fine. In fact, he's making the roam down to mid just to push it up because he's been frozen off the wave. So he's going to get level 2 here and make the rotation back. Meanwhile, because the Dragon lane has swapped up to the Baron lane, Chili feels free invading. He feels free walking in to take camps, and this is going to cause Pegor here to have to vertically jungle. He has to walk in to take the opponent blue buff instead, while they can dive Albert here, who is level 1.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit tricky here, as Ozzy will now join the fray at least. So this scares Chili a little bit to maybe perhaps try something, as we get to see the duo laners already at level 2.
Now, this is similar to what we saw in the previous game, right? The idea of the map being split. Now, the strong side of the map is the Baron lane for Berjaya Dragons, whereas MVP, they will be controlling the Dragon lane and potentially the Dragon as well.
Yeah, definitely gonna get a little bit of those early plates because it is, as you mentioned, a little bit tough for Zisune. Over here might get poked out, but Karuto gonna be leaning towards the bottom portion of the map, possibly fearing a potential tower dive because there's no vision over in their own jungle. Now, though, Atzi is forced to use a flashy, but he is in no man's land. And now, Chili gets, actually, it is Sagi getting the first blood.
When you look at these lane swaps, the goal isn't to get turret plates, it's not to get environmental gold. It's to put the enemy laner behind and put your jungler ahead. Dives like that are actually the win conditions for Berjaya Dragons. So I love that they understand what they need to do. They've now gotten themselves this kill. They're on the board. They're 900 gold ahead. Chili as well, taking camps away. Now, Albert is in an awkward position if he decides to go up against the Varus and Alistar, because he's going to get zoned off as well.
Yeah, exactly. When we think about, the Ziggs usually having to deal a lot of damage in the later stages of the game, but you mentioned putting Ozzy behind and as well as your top laner, all but on the Renekton for sure will be very helpful in sort of slicing and dicing basically one of the squishies, as now Zisune is going to be the next target, and that will be David finishing off the kill. Another tower dive happening here as Chili will dance and pounce rather, but the kill will still go to Sagi.
You blow your summoner spells on the dragon side of the map, but you don't get a kill. That's fine, right? But now they're capitalizing, now they're punishing. It's okay for them to give up the first dragon too, because it is Ocean Drake, so Berjaya Dragons are taking their advantages from the map from this lane swap and making sure to put Yahtzee and Albert behind, allowing Sagi and Chili to really just get things going. Because look at this, Chili right now is up in terms of gold purely from the jungle advantages and the strong side of the map.
Able to get those tower dives in and assist Sagi getting those early kills for himself as well. In the meantime, though, Zisune is going to be just happy soaking a bunch of damage and just healing them back up. But at the same time, I suppose, Winter joins him as well at the bottom side.
You know, Riku, what's actually brilliant about this lane swap is that they kind of dodged the range into melee matchup for Winter too. So having this kill pressure, converting all of it and getting their marksman a hit, the ADC just feels so good now for Berjaya Dragons. They cheated around this bad lane, and now Sagi is so far ahead compared to his counterpart that they could actually contest the first dragon if they wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. This is very, very smart coming from Berjaya. They are able to utilize Winter as well for those heavy engages, for him to take the tower dives, the turret hits first before anything else, and let Chili and Sagi basically follow through. And now Dragon being started, it's a very dark map for MVP now. They do have a bunch of pokes. They're going to be coming from the opposite side, though, as that's the knockup done by Winter. But the Dragon is secured by Chili over here. But unfortunately, Pago is gone. He's going to be the first one to fall from MVP. But the biggest question is, do they want more? As all but activated his Dominus. But at the moment, Berjaya happy with that take. It's still not over. Papa will fall soon. Actually is able to Killer Instinct out. There's some flashes here and there. They're able to secure the kill. Unfortunately, David cannot do anything. Is there going to be a punish? There's the satchel. Winter is so low at the moment, but the shield coming from Karuto will save him. And now Adzi super far from his tower, and he's going to fall as well. Berjaya getting everything before they leave.
Sagi's gonna flash away just to get, some distance between him and Pagor. He's afraid of the assault and battery, but Berjaya, they play that so well. You could see that both Winner and Karuto was zoning away, right? As long as you have this Alistair in the front, Pagor can't really charge up the Vault Breaker. He's so afraid to even jump in, and once they know that's down, Berjaya Dragons pounce and they punish. Miko was the one that said, don't poke the sleeping dragon. Berjaya Dragons right now have awoken. 5-1, they have this 4K goal lead. They're gonna be running with this mid-game advantage.
Yeah, 5 minutes into the game with this gold lead already from Berjaya, and they're able to shut down some of these lanes, especially, when we see a Renekton, we're going to be expecting big, huge things to transition over to the mid game. So that, at least at the moment, has been denied so far.
Anyone watching this should take it as a textbook lesson on how to cheat around this matchup and also punish the Renekton solo lane, because tanks exist for a reason. Being set behind as a tank doesn't feel as bad. Zisune, all he's really going to do, hit a silence, try to execute some of his ult, whereas Albert has to kind of contribute damage, and he's not able to do so because he's so far behind.
Exactly, it works so well for Berjaya, and that is the reason why they get to have priority over these objectives. And now all they can do is just zone. Look at Karuto with a dissonance over here and no contest whatsoever. They're going to be taking these off away from MVP.
Same, setup in that fight again, Riku. You saw Karuto and Winter sitting in the front, right? You walk up, you're gonna eat a shockwave, or hit by pulverize. Either way, you're gonna get punished, and you can't contest these objectives. The right play for MVP here is just to swap to the other side of the map. Say, oh, you guys are all 5 on Rift Herald, we'll just take bot tier 2 instead, or gain control of your bottom half of the jungle so that when you walk in, we have information. MVP not playing to their side of the map instead.
Exactly, but at the moment, Sagi, though, is all but will have no waves, as he is going to just get tower dove on and already as Berjaya taking more objectives, or rather taking more leads. But what does MVP exchange out of all this?
They're looking to hold on to the mid-tier 1 as best they can, but they just need to group up in this death ball and try to get something done, because as things stand right now, it feels kind of awful for MVP. Their composition is set so far behind that they really have to scale and wait for Yahtzee to really pop off, right? We saw the value of the Ziggs when he picks up a couple of items. He's not there yet. He's still on the way, arriving. Once he does get to that point, things will be a lot more different for MVP.
That's true. A lot of these pokes, and as well as how we've seen Kaisa can just really scale out of control. On Papa for sure, but I think the game is, Berjaya, will they be able to speed up the process of this game, knowing that they've already acquired a 4K goal lead on hand, is able to open up the map already, at least for top and bottom side. Mid lane still stands strong as Adzi is there to keep hold and gatekeep that one.
Bit of a lull right now. They're trying to make a move onto the top side. Here comes Chili first.
Though Galba already half HP, doesn't have his Dominus just yet, is about to pop off of cooldown, as Pago still a little bit tanky right now, as Zisune will scare him off, but no fight so far. But here comes the rest of BJD. Look at the ball, it's prime and ready. Chili already with the Thrill of the Hunt activated, but because that's activated, MVP says, okay, let's just retreat.
We've all been in this position before. You see the eyes on top of you, you hear the music, Rengar's on the hunt. We gotta get out of dodge. We don't want to stick around here. Good move from Berjaya Dragon to invade the top side just to get control, and then now they can translate that over to this dragon. So what this means essentially is, if MVP were to not contest this Inferno, they'd have to play topside, but they can't now because it's pushed up. There are no camps. So they're stuck in this lose-lose situation of either push mid or take this battle over Inferno Dragon.
That's true, and they really all have to be together to sort of, just as you mentioned, contribute to the damage. And that will slowly push a top side for sure. Now, that's the reason why Berjaya is happy to sort of take their time. A bunch of ults are up and running for Berjaya, so the shockwave is going to be up. No thrill of the hunt, at least for Chili for now, but I don't think he needs it anytime soon. But look at Pago, he's circling around, but there's no steal that's going to happen, and Sagi will secure that one. Now he's just going to Vault Breaker and Assault and Battery on Winter, but it's not going to work as Pago just decides to go in the mid lane, but gets assassinated by Sagi with an arrow. And that's 3 members left from MVP, and Sagi's just going to keep going over here, but there's still a tower standing, and therefore Berjaya has to stop.
The moment Winter walks in, MVP cannot fight. This Alistar is so big. He's just zoning them away with Dead Man's Plate and Proto Belt. So you can see the danger that MVP is in every time they walk up to contest these objectives. He's such a tanky frontliner. Berjaya just fight around the Alistar. Sagi's free to hit whoever he wants, as the arrow will sail past Papa. They're not there yet in terms of the items. This is kind of awful for MVP at this current item breakpoint.
Yeah, it's looking really tough right now with a 6k gold lead. Every single fight just contributes to more gold for Berjaya. And just as you mentioned, you know, Winter is there as the tanky front line, and Zisune definitely contributes to that silence threat on whoever decides to go in. Maybe actually scares Papa to Killer Instinct aggressively and assassinate. Might get greeted by silence here, as now Berjaya just taking full control of the map right now.
Also, for a moment there, we saw the items. Atzi went for the Archangels instead of the second item, Death Cap, and that cuts his DPS quite a bit. I think that's the main reason we don't see him popping off in these fights. That, and also just opening fights with Mega Inferno Bomb is not ideal. You need some lockdown first.
Yeah, prioritizing the survivability over more damage, as Berjaya just keeps on hammering down the lead at the moment, as MVP forced to try and defend for now. And so far, they really haven't found the opportunity just yet. Gotta respect how much Sagi was able to get, you know, a bunch of early kills over that lane swap.
Stealing away the blue buff, making sure that Atzi doesn't have that resource, the unlimited resources to play with. Always a good move here so that they can't defend forever. Again, like I tell people watching the stream, this is a textbook example of how to cheat away. Oh, hold on.
Sagi, though, is isolated, and unfortunately Winter is going to be there too late, but here comes Zisune. Just going to zone away the rest of the members of MVP as he spins around for defense. Chili entering in the fight with the double man shockwave, and now Karuto is to killing spree at the moment. Chili goes golden, is going to flash to escape the danger. And now Alba likes to get a kill, activates Dominus and flashes away as he's so low. And Berjaya losing Sagi, but at the same time he's able to fight back.
Yep, he was just a bit too overconfident there. I think he walked up past the river while his team wasn't there, and Pagor just jumped on that free kill. Once in a while you get these freebies, it sets the tempo back for Berjaya, but they're still up 7k. They have all the core items that they need, right? Karuto already has that, you know, Rabadon's Death Cap. He's going to be outputting significant amount of damage, and with Baron up, you could kind of bait them in. We saw how they executed the Rift Herald earlier with the Winter and Karuto just sitting in front. The same thing can be done this time as they look to take down the Baron. However, the caveat here is that Sagi does not take structures, or does not take objectives quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, for MVP, especially, they can't really set foot over the riverside, as it has been Berjaya just dominating that area. So no vision whatsoever. It's always pretty much denied. Using the Mega Inferno Bomb just to try and scout out, but they find all but perhaps Winter activated. Oh, but that's a triple man shockwave. Look at that ball delivery system. And now the Encore used defensively. Zisune looking for the Demacian Justice execute. Look at the 2 low held targets from MVP. Papa so low, Pago so low, but they're able to escape from Berjaya's clutch hits.
A couple of years ago, this was the meta, and I think Monte Cristo dubbed it the Rocky Mountain Oysters. Rengar in with the ball and the shockwave. That's how you set the fight. That's how you keep MVP away and accelerate your goal lead even more. Mountain Dragon up. Mountain Dragon is going to go down as well.
That's the 3rd dragon for Berjaya. Dragon's going to be unlocking that Elder Dragon for themselves. And we talked about this, you know, all of these river portions of the map, MVP cannot touch, or else they may walk into a death trap, just like what we saw with Chili and Karuto's, you know, ball delivery system.
Absolutely nasty. There's no clean way to jump in onto them, and because, like I said, they don't have this true tank, right? Pegor is only tanky when he activates the aftershock. All but we saw him use the dominus, but to very little effect because they don't
Mhm.
have a frontliner. No one can really check. No one can really walk up, and Berjaya Dragons just keep them at arm's length while they take these objectives.
Exactly. It has been their game for the past 10 minutes. Has been going in their favor. Even the fact that, top side is still not taken down despite it being very, very low already. MVP is forced to sort of stay together in preparation for any sort of Berjaya's sneaky engage.
You never know when it's coming from, Riku. As long as Thrill of the Hunt is up, like again, you see Yahtzee's dead.
Like that, exactly. Adzi, unfortunately, will fall. And just as you were saying, Chili assassinates Ozzy. Unfortunately, now it's a 4v5 situation.
The root of Berjaya Dragon's strength has been Chili so far. He's a very proactive jungler. He likes to make things happen for his team. As Berjaya Dragons will now set up on this Baron. It's taking a while though because it's Varus that's hitting this.
At the moment, yeah, you're right. It is 1/4 HP, and that's gonna be a secure. No, that's gonna be a steal coming from MVP. Just as you mentioned, because of that slow, Pego will fall, but that's 3 members down without Baron buff. And now MVP decides to save it. It is gonna be a secure by MVP stolen by Papa.
I'm gonna teach you a new word in Cantonese today, Riku. It's called Totse, which means thank you and
Totse.
thank you for that leash. But Giant Dragons, they started up, they spent so much time hitting the objective. MVP just walks in with the Acatian Rain. Oh, you hate to see that.
Oh, dear me. I mean, you were just talking about it. You mentioned that, okay, Sagi here on this Varus. It's going to take a little bit while. And now Berjaya Dragons were pretty much separated. So the damage output were basically scattered. And therefore, the potential steal. And that's what happened. Now, MVP is able to slow this game down.
They have some initiative right now because the Baron buff, whoever it's on still, meaning to say David as well as Albert, I believe, will be able to set up the side waves, right? Baron empowered minions still hold on very well. And yes, there is a gold advantage for Berjaya Dragons, but they need to find this again.
Oh, there is Chili again, just diving in. Winter with that knock-up, and as well as the Assault Wind Battery being used, but Pego, unfortunately, will be the first one to fall. That's 50 seconds on the clock before
Karen?
he's up and running. And now that's going to be Sune, rather, coming from the side, but that just scares MVP to go back.
The legendary flanking Garen doesn't really do anything. It's a silence and spins away. Okay, but at least they find that pick on the Pegor, right? They need to get as many of these as possible to start taking the outer turrets. And it's, again, very tough to defend, or rather push against the Ziggs because he has this insane wave clear. I do kind of see the value of the Seraph's Embrace right now because he doesn't need the blue buff just to clear the waves.
A little bit of that extra survivability for sure, as all but we'll just have to try and clear and again just sort of watch over this top side as the waves still kind of build up, considering the fact that that is still not open. It's 17 minutes. Top side still not open, unfortunately. Therefore, Berjaya Dragons is free to sort of do this right now at the bottom portion of the map.
It's a great Elder as well. I mean, they're setting up for this just in case MVP checks. There's a brush where the Garen is, but the engage comes in.
Sune will spot this out for sure as the Damascene Justice will be activated. But Pego now on Guardian's Angel. They're waiting. There's the Encore. Really good lineup, but no follow-up. It is just used to disengage.
Plays them a song for them to dance, but in the end, it's just gonna be MVP disengaging while Elder Cloud Drake goes over to Berjaya Dragons. And they could contest this, but Chili still has that Thrill of the Hunt. They will be looking to re-engage together with Winter if they jump too far forward.
Yeah, no ult coming from Alba, no dominance, but maybe another steal perhaps, as that is going to be a secure by Chili. But now Alba activates his dominance. Now he's silenced a little bit more. But here comes the knock-off, here comes the engage coming from Berjaya, as now Karuto is unstoppable. And they lock in the rest of MVP, but unfortunately Papa will be the next one to fall. And that concludes, or rather, that will enable Berjaya to take on Baron.
I'm not sure if MVP is going to be able to steal this one again away from Berjaya Dragons Riku, but right now they're looking to push down the mid-tier 2 first. The idea is to open up the map, right? Set the wave as far into MVP's base as possible so they have this bandwidth to walk over to the Baron and then start it up.
Right, there's still 30, 20 seconds on the clock, more or less, just as you mentioned, take off more structures away from MVP. And now this is definitely more leeway, more space for them to sort of take their time, taking this Baron, as we can see MVP, maybe moving a little bit forward, but they still have to push the waves, and it's so dark. Still lack those two members. So Berjaya gets the Baron for themselves.
Yep, the Globe Baron take coming in from Berjaya Dragons, and well, we see the adaptation they make this time, right? Push the waves up, make sure that we can spot anyone walking in so they can't steal away from us again. MVP, they're kind of resigned to their fate now, trying to clear out the side waves, trying to push mid just before the final push from Berjaya Dragons comes in. I love that they're splitting up, right? This is the best way to utilize Baron buff. Send your Baron lane as well as your jungler to the side lanes to sort of set the waves up, and then group up to push mid with the Orianna, Varus, as well as Alistar.
Right, really good 1-3-1 coming from Berjaya. I mean, Albat is unfortunately two levels behind Zisune, so there's no threat whatsoever. He has to give that up. And Forest to just defend these towers over here by the base. And yeah, this is looking really, really tough to defend by MVP.
Trying their best to clean the waves out, but the engage. Oh, look at that!
What is that damage? Oh my word, Sagi! That's just one arrow. That's just one ridiculous arrow rather. And at the meantime, now Berjaya knocking on the base of MVP, and it's such a convincing win after 20 minutes. Berjaya Dragons take that W.
Again, the reminder, Elder buff gives this damage over time, and he wasn't expecting the burst from the Varus piercing arrow. You can see on your screen the man in the center, Chili, formerly known as Zer, one of the most long-standing Malaysian esports players, arrived